him a war or something. If he spends any more time in the yard drilling, Josephine will have him killed.
What do you think of Liliana's work?
Do you want to know what the Arishok had for breakfast this morning? I think she can tell you.
Good to know.
Back to work, then.
Stone met, Inquisitor.
Do you have any insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Tell you what, you finish one, who better, right? A good dwarven perspective. Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
It's a noble calling, the Knight Enchanter. You have joined the ranks of the most select mages. You should be commended. So few have the discipline necessary.
I didn't realize you were a Knight Enchanter, Vivienne.
Of course I am, darling. Knight Enchanters serve in the highest echelons of the Chantry and Circle. Where else would I be?
I'm pleased you approve of my choice.
You have your moments, my dear.
I'd like to know more about you, Madame Vivienne.
Whatever would you like to know?
I'm curious how a Circle mage winds up a court here.
Nobody winds up at court, my dear. It takes a great deal of... I caught the eye. When the position of Enchanter to the Imperial Court became vacant, I was...
You're married to the...
Of course. Marriage is the business of alliance and inheritance. I'm Bastien's mistress.
And what does the Duchess de Ghislaine think of this arrangement?
We got along quite well. Duchess Nicoline and I used to host musical salons together. She was a great patron of the arts. She passed away from a fever a few years ago, the poor dear.
Do you think that you and I might someday...
How very sweet of you to ask, but no. Yes?
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
You must have an opinion of the Templars after living so long in this circle.
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions about mages or Navarrans or men. I have known some who were impossible to endure and some who were utterly charming. I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or tradesmen in Val Royaux. Personally, I have found the Templars a useful tool, skilled at keeping more unpleasant elements at bay.
Apologies, Your Worship. Running.
The new power you wield. I heard from Cassandra that it is the magic of the Knight Enchanters. If I am not mistaken, the techniques descend from those of ancient elven mages, called arcane warriors. I wonder what they would think to see their magic used in defense of the Chantry.
I hope the ancient elven warriors would be pleased to see their techniques survive.
I hope so as well. So much knowledge has been lost. Perhaps having something they created carried forward, even in such a different form, would gratify them. Did you need anything else?
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I think I have shared everything of note. I should spend some time encountering more stories.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
You shamed him when you destroyed Haven. Spoiled his glorious victory. It would be worse to acknowledge that you had done so. You must continue. He will return to his plans to throw Olay into chaos, and then conquer it for Devinter.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Message coming through, Inquisitor.
Always a sight for sore eyes.
I've been told something about an amulet.
How did you hear that? Oh, Liliana. Of course she would find out. Don't make an issue of it. I don't want someone solving my personal problems for me. I'll get the amulet back. Somehow. On my own.
I'm not entirely certain what it is.
The Parvus birthright. The flashy thing you show peons to make them tremble at your impressive lineage. I didn't leave Tevinter with much in the way of coin, so I sold it. Entirely forbidden, of course, and foolish, but I was desperate. I'll figure something out.
You don't even like your family. Why would you want it back?
Because it's mine, and it shouldn't be passed around like candy.
That's the only reason?
It's reason enough. Leave it be.
There are plenty of ways to skin a nug, Dorian. We'll think of something.
And I will. I'll get it back. I lost the amulet. I may not have your resources, but I can't ask you to... You have too many people asking you for everything under the sun. I won't be one of them. Always with the questions. What will people say?
I need to talk to you.
Oh. I am, as you say down south, all ears.
Let's do something interesting.
More interesting than wandering the countryside killing random strangers? Perish the thought. This castle of yours isn't exactly filled with diversions, but we can figure something out.
Look at all these books. Look at all these books.
You've joined a fellowship with a distinguished history. Knight enchanters have long served the divine.
That is why I pursued this path. Mages do not always have to be at odds with the Chantry.
But I understand why so many are, and I don't blame them. No matter, you have chosen well, and are in good company. I had friends who were knight enchanters, who served at Justinia's side, who died with her. It's good to see new mages keeping this flame alive.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you to your work.